02, report of the county mayor. I don't think the mayor's here. Let the record show that the mayor is not present at tonight's meeting. A lot of you here on the library situation and the budget. Maury County government cannot pass a budget without funding the library. There's no way we can get through this. We have to fund the library and maintenance of effort. Mr. Summers?
Yeah, just briefly, the maintenance of effort is what we funded last year or the year before that. You have to fund it. By state law, it has to be there. You would be in violation of state law if we defunded the library.
Has the mayor presented a budget that's acceptable to him, or have we just heard that he would not because of the funding for the library? Have you seen a budget?
There were several issues that were listed in his letter to us.
I saw the letter.
And it stated that he would not do any building projects, defund the library, and then what was not included to us that was in his press release on his campaign website was that he's never signed off on a property tax increase, and he's not about to start doing that.
But the building projects, are you talking about the school that was approved last year, but because of the debt service?
The new borrowing this year.
Right. Part of that being for the landfill closure that he supported?
It would be the landfill closure, it would be the school, it would be OEM's radio communications, and it would be
that he supported.
It would be the
$10 million in borrowing that he supported.
Right.
That, I said enough.
So here's what I think about this whole process tonight, and the budget's passed. It passed by a vote of 12-6 here. It passed. So I don't think a yes vote tonight to override this veto means that you're approving of the budget. That's not how I see it. I see it as a way to push back on what this political maneuver was. And the evidence is clear. We would be in the budget here, funding here would be in peril, great peril. And where is the mayor to defend his veto tonight? As soon as he sent us the letter, I called him. He sent me the voicemail and said he'd call me back. I just told him, never mind. Because I just, I knew what it was all about. But this commission has the potential to wreck this county financially if we do not overturn the veto. As we've heard tonight from Doug and from Daniel, myself, it would be a fiscal nightmare. Our credit rating would sink. Interest rates would climb for us to borrow any more money. I'm not saying we need to do that, but if we needed to do that, we'd be paying more, costing you guys more money. So I just feel like the mayor should be here tonight to let us know what he would approve and what he would not approve of, and he's not here. So that would be my question to him. He had several months to call me with his concerns on the budget as the budget committee chair to let me know his thoughts on the process and what was in the budget, what was out of the budget. He could have called Doug Luconen as well on that process. I never got the phone call. Doug never got the phone call. And we could have known what was coming up. I was mowing my lawn in the first of the spring, right? And I got this in my head. I'm like, what if there's a veto of this budget? Because I knew exactly what was going to what would happen. This is uncharted territory, and it's just, I hate that this process has turned into a political football. It's ridiculous to me, and I like Andy, but it's ridiculous. And those are my thoughts. If anybody has any questions for me, that's fine, but, I'm voting to override the veto.
And not to mention all the hours we've already spent in these long, grueling meetings.
First of all, I don't feel that Maury County was given a proper representation in the state legislature concerning the impact fee. Let me point out, this is no fault of the people who went to Nashville from this commission and worked hard trying to get this done. I know where the fault lies, and you know where the fault lies.
Mr. Potts, Terry?
Thank you, Chairman. I'm gonna be short and sweet. I'm not running again. But this committee, Budget Committee, sat up here and worked their tails off. And you wanna know why he's not here, Scott? It was a political showboat to begin with. He's never cared about Maury County. If he did, he'd be here. So I'm not taking $15 million away from the school system that we just gave teachers raises. And guess what? They're beginning to be happy again. They're beginning to teach again. If we take $15 million away and the first thing we do is cut their pay, guess what? We can't hire teachers now.
That's true.
So I'm voting to override him. I don't care what he thinks.
And to answer your question, Mr. Potts and Mr. Sumner, there's a political fundraiser tonight. So there was a scheduling conflict. I think that it's obvious that this was a political maneuver, and that was affirmed to me by the text I got at 1:45 this afternoon asking for donations based off of this. The other thing I do want to say is that that maneuver, regardless of all the political motivations, is evidence that the individual proposing it doesn't care what happens in Maury County past August 31st.
Mr. Markham?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is not Washington, D.C. We're not on CNN, we're not on Fox News.
We may be for it's over.
And if you want to be in Washington, I guess sometimes you got to talk like people from Washington. But this is Maury County, Tennessee, and we got common sense. For Mr. Ogles to do what he did, he felt like he had to do it. But if he had a better idea, he would be here. And I voted for the budget. I'm going to vote to override the veto, and I'm going to vote to keep the budget when it's that time. And thank you very much.
I was extremely dismayed and disappointed by Mayor Ogles' refusal to sign off on the budget in order to play politics and bolster his political brand while he moves forward with his new run for Congress. In fact, just this morning, as was mentioned, he was touting the veto in a marketing campaign. It's not only imperative that this legislative body pass a budget on time in order to continue to fund the important work of Maury County, but Mayor Ogles' veto also attacked the public library, note the word public, as well as dismissed the value of the lives and history of several hundred citizens in Maury County. This attack was not only extremely dismissive and wrong, it was dangerous. I have received, as City Council, multiple anonymous letters in my role as councilman from local citizens who now have their fears stoked about local members of the LGBTQ community being secret sex traffickers and child predators, pleading with me to use my office to curtail what they see as a scourge on our town. And obviously that is complete nonsense, especially coming from cowards who won't even attach their name to their supposed convictions. These statements were triggered by Mayor Ogles' recent comments, which shone a light on our LGBT community.
It's so unfortunate that such a stupid decision by the mayor to do this has disrupted a normal process of getting a budget that satisfies all constituents in this county.